Water. We use so much every day, and anyone who's lugged even just a gallon of water around knows that it gets heavy fast. So, why do we go to the effort of storing all of our water as high as possible? My water tower is really tall. It's perched on the biggest hill in my town. Kinda strange, right? Well, water towers are tall so gravity and pressure can get the water where it needs to be the second I turn on my tap at home. Water gains potential energy when it's pumped up into the tower, then water rushes downwards when it's released, and all this potential energy instantly converts into kinetic energy. Imagine you're holding a water bottle upside down, and you just yank the cap off. Gravity does all the work, also the weight of water. Water pressure and gravity. This makes water towers pretty efficient since there's no need for pumps on the way down. If you didn't have enough water pressure at home, you'd turn on the shower and there'd just be little dribbles, or your toilet would take forever to fill back up after you flush it. My water tower needs to supply water with enough pressure to make sure that all of the homes and businesses in my neighborhood get just the right flow, the right pressure, not too high or not too low. Alright, I live in Sammamish and get my water from Sammamish Plateau Water. Here's my neighborhood, and right over here is my water tank. Some water sources like mine don't even have to be elevated as a tower because they're on a high enough hill already. Hills and tower height can both help to maintain water pressure. The higher up the tower, the more potential energy it has. Now I live right over here, on the same hill as my water tower. If water just needed to reach my house right here, the tower wouldn't need to be very elevated. The water needs to rush all the way to the other side of the neighborhood, or whatever the service area is for my one water tower. So that's why it's built up on a hill. As the tower becomes more elevated, the more water pushes down on itself. It's heavier, so more pressure builds up. Water pressure depends on height. Now check out this equation. P stands for pressure. That's what we're solving for. Rho looks kind of like a funny P, but it's a symbol for density of water. G is acceleration due to gravity. Both of these values are constant since all of the water in our tower has the same density and acceleration from gravity is the same everywhere on Earth. This means water pressure must change based on h, height. The equation works on a smaller scale too. These containers have the same water pressure at the bottom. So do all of these, even though their shapes are pretty different. These ones don't, though. On the right, we've got a full bathtub, and on the left, a tall, skinny pipe. Now, since height determines pressure, water weighed down in this tiny pipe has more pressure than the full bathtub. What? I mean, that's how it is. That's why water towers are tall. High heights mean high pressure to propel water all the way across my neighborhood. Pressure varies, though, depending on where your house is relative to the tower. It works kind of like a pool. The surface of the pool or higher elevation has lower pressure, and then as you dive deeper, pressure increases. Gravity pushes gallons and gallons of water down onto you. That's why your ears may pop the deeper you go. You can see how pressure changes at different depths in all sorts of situations. Even in a simple water bottle. If you poke a hole at the top of a full water bottle, water will trickle out slowly. If you poke a hole at the bottom, though, water will spurt out. What does this mean for water towers? Well, the closer your home is to the tank, the lower the water pressure is. The farther away you are, where the elevation difference is greater, the higher the pressure is. More water is squashed down on top of itself under gravity's influence, just like when you dive deep into a pool. My house is right here, on top of a hill. So water must have a lower pressure when it comes to me than when it comes to my friend's house farther down here. So where's your water tower? What's the elevation? What's the elevation of your home compared to the water tower? Do you think the water pressure for you at home is higher or is it lower than the water pressure at your school?